Good morning, all. Uh, we have seen in the last lecture that is three-phase control inverter. Okay, so that was the last part of unit number third, but that is, I think, not completed in the last lecture. I'll go for the last part, and then we'll see the total chapter, that is division of total chapter, and then we will go for the unit number four. Okay, so I'll first want to discuss with you, that is three-phase half controlled rectifier with R and RL load. Okay, so this figure is for R load. Okay? Uh, the previous one, that is midpoint converter, that we have seen. The explanation is also given, midpoint converter for R load and for RL load. Both we have discussed in a previous lectures, right? So the in midpoint converters, if your alpha is less than 90, then that circuit will work as a rectifier. It means that power delivered from source to load. If alpha is greater than 90 up to pi or 180, then the converter will work as a inverter. The operation is inversion operation because most of the output is feed from load to source. Most of the power is feed from load to source. So that circuit is called as a inverter circuit. Okay. So that already we have discussed in a many times. So if you see this waveform, the alpha, if it is equal to 0 in a first figure, if alpha equal to 0, that time you will get a pulses, that is maybe a complete pulses, maximum DC output voltage, and circuit will work as a rectifier. Okay. Then if you increase your alpha up to the 45, you can see here the positive part and this is the negative part. Okay. So negative part start to increase as your alpha increases. So, but still the output is more positive, and you can say the power is delivered from source to load. So that operation is also called as a rectification. Then at alpha equal to 90, you can see here the positive part and a negative part both is equal. So that time the output you are getting is equal to 0, right? Ideally 0, practically a very small output, but it is equal to 0. So at a 90, the output is equal to 0. If you increase further your alpha more than 90 degree, then the most of the part is a negative. You can see here a very small part is shown here as a positive, and most of the part is a negative, right? So this negative part, it means that the power is delivered or feed from load to source. So that operation is called as an inverter operation. When power is feed from load to source, that circuit is normally called as a inversion or inverter circuit. You can see here alpha equal to 180. That time you will get only a negative part. So that is a complete inverter operation. So this is already we have seen in a previous lecture. Then next one is, okay. So next one is three-phase half controlled rectifier with R and RL load. That is also we have seen. This is also called as a semi-converter, right? Because we are using PSCRs and P diodes. Okay. So explanation or working of this circuit already we have discussed. If anyone want to explain from your side, then you can explain. Otherwise, I'll just repeat and then I'll go for the next one. Okay, anyone from your class, if you want to explain this circuit, if you are really understand what is the circuit, how it works, and so on, because it's a three-phase converter and three-phase converters are mostly used in industry. Single phase converters are not used in industry. The reason behind that is also explained by me many times during this unit. So three-phase converters are most important. Definitely there will be one question on a three-phase converter. So three-phase converters is most important part, so that if anyone from your class wants to explain this semi converter or three phase converter, then you can explain. Okay, I'll just wait for 1 minute. Anyone if try to explain, definitely I've become a very happy if you're supposed to be explained, anyone from your class, because uh, this is a one of the important topic. Three phase semi converter, three phase full converter for R and RL load with without freewheeling diode, right? So if you see only a three phase converter, it is not a one topic. It consists of more than 5 to 6 questions. Okay. So first one is a three phase midpoint converter for R load, then three phase midpoint converter for RL load, and three phase midpoint converter with freewheeling diode. So that is the three questions. Similarly, three phase semi converter, that is another question. Then three-phase fully controlled converter for R load, for RL load. Even semi-converter is also used for R as well as RL load, right? So again, two questions on a semi-converter, three questions on midpoint converter, and then at least three questions on fully controlled converter. So three-phase full converter for R load, three-phase full converter or fully controlled converter for RL load, and three-phase fully controlled converter for RL load with a freewheeling diode. So again, it may be a three question. So only on three-phase converters, you will get total 8 questions, right? So 8 questions may be asked in examination. Out of these 8 questions, definitely one question will be there in same exam as well as in same exam. Exam होणार आहे. Even today, uh, Supreme Court has given decision to conduct the exams of final year students. So whatever happens in previous semester, it will not repeat. So we have to prepare according to that, right? So exam होणार आहे, whatever the mode of exam. If suppose final year students exams conducted by the college, maybe during 15 to 30 September, then definitely after September, your in-same exams may be conducted by the university. Definitely. So you will be prepared for that. Maybe first week of October or maybe a second week of October, there will be a examination, semi in-same exam, may be conducted by university. Once university conduct the final exam, definitely university go for in-same exams here, right? So in-same exams are there for first year, second year, third year, and final year. Already teaching is started as per university schedule. So a university may be conduct the in-same exams maybe in October, maybe mid October or maybe end of October or maybe a second week of October. So you have to prepare for that. Uh, maybe whatever happened in the last semester, it will not repeat. So carefully, I'll again repeat you. There are total 8 questions on three-phase converter, and at least one question will be asked in same as well as 8 on these three-phase converter. So it will give you 5 and plus 7 marks in end same. Total 12 marks you will get on only this three-phase converter. So if you understand this three-phase converter, then you are able to explain. Otherwise, it is very difficult for everyone, right? So anyone from your class, I'm just waiting for your reply. If suppose you are not explaining, then definitely I'll understand that no one can understand the three-phase converter. Okay. Yes. Anyone from your class, if want to explain. Okay. Participants: Maria, Bhabad Sanket, Kshitija Bhalirao, Monali Bhangre, Kranti Brive, Rohit, Kunal, Vishakha Deshmukh. These are the students which are present right now. So anyone from your class try to explain the three-phase semi-converter or three-phase half-controlled converter. Okay. So no one is ready to explain. Sadashiv. Okay, Sadashiv, I want to explain. Sadashiv,
Yes, sir.
हा एक्सप्लेन करू शकतोस, काय अडचण नाही.
नाही.
Okay, ठीक आहे. Anyone other? Anyone from your class? Because already we have discussed on this. Otherwise, I'll go for the next. See, actually, we are at the end of third unit, right? So already 3 units are completed. That's why I'm again and again I'm asking about anyone to explain, anyone to explain. Why? Because you have to explain this. Otherwise, it is just a one-side delivery, right? I am just maybe teaching whatever the concepts you are understanding or not. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Okay, so very bad thing that there is a no reply from your class, but still it's my duty to explain it once again, and then I'll go for the next one. See, there are three phases: phase A, phase B, and phase C. I'm explaining the actual answer. Okay, just remember, whatever you want, you have to write in examination. So that I'll explain here. So I'll start. Three-phase half-controlled rectifier or converter for R load, in which there are three-phase voltages, that is a phase A, phase B, and phase C, right? Then we are using here three SCR, T1, T3, T5, and three diodes, D4, D6, and D2. Okay. So half part of this converter is a controlled and half part is uncontrolled. This part is uncontrolled converter part and this is a controlled part. That's what is called as a half controlled converter. It is half part is controlled, half part is uncontrolled. Okay. Then one maybe a resistive load is connected, right? Now, whenever one of the phase out of this phase A and phase B and phase C is a more positive, right? So if the phase A is more positive, it means that the thyristor T1 is in forward bias condition. I am saying forward bias because until and unless the gate pulse is applied, SCR never conducts, right? So if the phase A is a more positive, right, the thyristor T1 is in forward bias condition. Just see here, if phase A is more positive, you can see here, this is a VAN, VBN, and VCN, right? So we are considering that we are actually maybe for example we are at here, right? So at this situation, if A is more positive than any other phases, right? And one of the phases is most negative. So you can see here at this instant alpha equal to 30, VBN is most negative and VAN is a most positive. Even VCN is also positive, but it is decreasing, right? And VAN is increasing. So we can say VAN is the most positive and VBN is the most negative. If VBA is the most positive, this T1 is in forward bias condition. And if VBN is most negative, then we can say diode D6 is in also in forward bias condition, because at this instant the phase B is the most negative, right? If it is negative, phase B is negative, this is connected to the anode of T3 and cathode of D6, right? If negative voltage is applied, T3 is in off state, but diode D6 is in a on state, or you can say in a forward bias condition, right? So what happens whenever you apply the triggering pulse to the T1, then current start to flow from phase A, T1, then R, then back to the T6, and then back to the V. Okay, so this is the first pulse that you are getting here. Okay, this is called the first pulse. If alpha equal to 0, then you will get a like this. Okay, or here you can say alpha equal to 0, you will get like this. Okay, now at this instant, that is alpha equal to 150, 30 plus 150, sorry, 120 equal to 150. At alpha equal to 150, what happens? The phase B is becoming more positive, phase C is most negative, and phase A is decreasing. Phase A voltage is decreasing, right? At alpha equal to 150. Phase B is, sorry, phase A voltage decreasing, phase B voltage increasing, and at the same time, phase C is most negative. If phase B is positive, if phase B is positive, then thyristor T3, then thyristor T3 is in forward bias condition, right? Which will turn off the thyristor T1. Once the thyristor T3 turns on, it will turns off thyristor T1. Okay. So what happens if phase B is more positive, thyristor T1 is in forward bias condition, and at the same time the phase C is most negative. So phase C is most negative, it means diode D2 is also in a forward bias condition. Diode D2 is also in a forward bias condition. So two devices are in forward bias condition, T3 and D2, when phase B is most positive as compared to other two phases, right? So T3 turns on as you apply trigger impulse, then current start to flow from phase B, T3, then R, then D2, and then back to the phase C. Okay. So again, that time you will get a next pulse. This is the next pulse, or maybe a next part of output voltage. Then at again at instant this 150 plus 120, that is 270. At 270, again what happens? The phase C becoming more positive and phase B becoming less positive. And at the same instant, phase A is most negative. Phase B A is most negative. Phase C becoming a most positive, and phase B becoming a less positive. So at the 270-degree, the phase C is the most positive. If C is the most positive, then thyristor T5. Thyristor T5 is maybe in forward bias condition, right? At the same time, phase A is most negative. If phase E is most negative, then diode D4 also is in forward bias condition. Okay. So current start to flow from phase C, then thyristor T5. Thyristor T5 will conduct when you apply triggering pulse. Otherwise, it just keep in forward bias condition, but it will not conduct. Okay. So keep in this mind. So T5 is in forward bias condition. If you apply triggering pulse, it will start to conduct. So current flows from VC, then T5, then R, then D4, and then back to the phase A. Okay. So at that time you will get a third pulse. This. Okay. So in this particular converter, whichever phase is most positive and whichever is most negative, that particular devices, one thyristor and one diode is conducting at a time, right? When thyristor T1 is in conducting, at the same time diode D6 is also in conducting state. T1 D6, T3 D2, and T5 D4, right? It is basically a pair of conducting devices, T1 D6, T3 D2, T5 and D4. It is basically a conducting pair of SCR. If you increase the alpha, see here alpha is a 15, right? So your minimum alpha is a 30, right? And after that, if you increase the alpha equal to 50, right? So that time you will get a waveform like this, okay? Then again like this and so on, okay? If your alpha is a 30, still the output is a continuous. You can see here, output is continuous, right? Positive, positive CM, it means VA, VB and VC. But if alpha is greater than 30, alpha is greater than 30, it means that the total alpha is equal to greater than 60. How? The minimum alpha is a 30. See here, the first waveform, minimum alpha is a 30, because till 30, the thyristor T1 will not conduct, because the already conducting thyristor T3 will turn off the thyristor T1. So minimum alpha for thyristor T1 is a 30, right? So that The total alpha, if it is 30 plus 30, 60, and total cycle is 180, so 180 minus 60 is 120, right? If the conducting device timing is 120 degree, then you will get a continuous output. But if the conducting device duration is less than 120, then you will get a discontinuous. You can see here, if alpha equal to 60, you will get a discontinuous. The output is 0 at this time, right? Again, alpha is maybe conducting, then discontinuous. So if the alpha is a greater than 30, the output voltage is a discontinuous. Keep in mind, okay? If output voltage is discontinuous, if you are using load resistor or maybe a resistive load, then definitely the output delivered to the load may be 0. If you're connecting simply resistive load like lamp, right? And if alpha is greater than 30, then definitely your lamp may be turns off, because lamp is a resistive load. So if you connect a lamp as a load, and if your alpha is greater than 30, then definitely your lamp may be continuously blinking on off on off on off likewise. Okay, so it happens with this particular semi converter. Okay, so output is discontinuous. Then basically output voltage is continuous, but load current is continuous. Load current is a constant because the load is continuously flowing through the device. So load voltage may be discontinuous, but load current is continuous. So this is about the three-phase semi-converter, also called as a half control. Why half control? Because the half part is a controlled, half part is a uncontrolled. That's why it is called as a half controlled converter. Okay. So this is about the three-phase semi-converter. Now we will go for the next one, that is three-phase converter. Okay, three-phase fully controlled converter. Now again, I'll ask you, anyone, if try to explain this particular circuit, if you understand the previous one, only what happens in this, the change is both part maybe is a control. That's why it is called as a fully controlled converter, or you can say rectifier. Uh, Converter is the best word because as per your syllabus, it is called converter. But I am writing here rectifier because you know that the circuit which convert AC to DC is called rectifier. Okay, so that's why I'm writing here rectifier, but it is a converter. Converter, rectifier, both are same. Just controlled rectifiers are called as a converter. Uncontrolled rectifiers is called rectifier only, but controlled rectifiers is also called as a converter. Okay, so this controlled converter, three-phase fully controlled converter for RL load. Actually, it is directly given RL load, but you can explain for R load only. Okay, for a short time, you can consider that the load L is absent. Okay, and you can explain load L is absent. Okay, so the same circuit you can use for uh, three-phase fully controlled converter for R load. Same circuit. Total 6 thyristors you can use, T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. Okay. A three-phase supply and RL load. If you are using RL load, what happens that we will see. But before that, only for R load, you can explain. Okay, it's a 6-pulse converter, right? In this particularly, even the previous one also, we are not using any neutral point, right? So normally the voltage is line voltage. So here even also the line voltage is used, right? VAB, VCB, and so on. So phase voltage is not used with this particular converter because it's a bridge type and we are not using the neutral point, right? So directly we are applying the voltage between phase A and phase B and phase C, or phase A and phase C, likewise. Okay. So we are using here line voltage waveform. It's a 6-pulse converter. So 6-pulse converter, it means 1 pulse, 2nd pulse, 3rd pulse, 4th pulse, 5th pulse, and 6th pulse, right? So during one cycle, there will be a total 6 pulses. You can see here, even this is a complete cycle. If you check the red cycle, so total 6 pulses are there. in a single pulse or single wave. So this particular converter has total 6 SCRs. We are not using neutral point, so that even a transformer is also optional, right? I have already told you in a last lecture, three-phase bridge converters are normally without a you can connect without a transformer. You can directly apply three-phase supply to these converters. So transformer is optional. Okay. So dial, delta, star, star, delta, whatever it may be the connection. If you are not using, you can directly apply three-phase supply. Even you can see in this figure, the phase A, phase B, and phase C is directly connected to the converter. There is a no uh, transformer connections are shown here. Even transformer is optional with these bridge converter. Transformer is optional. Why? Because we are not using neutral point. If neutral point is not required, then directly we can connect phase A, phase B, and phase C to the converter. So transformer is optional. You can use or you can even eliminate. Okay, but again, the transformer is used because the isolation is required. Okay, so for isolation purpose, transformers are definitely used. But if suppose transformer is not available, you can directly use, no problem. Okay, so this circuit, okay, Anchan, okay, you are basically raising hands, but you are not asking anything. You can directly unmute yourself and you can talk, no problem. Okay, you can ask your questions. If suppose you are having any problem, you can directly uh, discuss that questions in a lecture, no problem. If anybody having any problem, you can directly ask. Okay, so uh, what we have discussed is transformer. Okay, so three-phase transformers are optional for such type of converters. You may use or you may not, right? So in this particular figure, transformer circuits or maybe connections are not shown, right? Now the working of this is a three-phase converter. Okay, three-phase converter. Now anyone from your class, if want to explain, you can explain it. Otherwise, I'll just explain you. Okay, now see here, we again same thing. If the phase A is most positive, okay, and maybe another phase B, if it is a negative at that instant, right? So what happens? The thyristor T1 is positive, so it may be in forward bias condition, and because of the B is a negative, the phase, sorry, thyristor T6 is in reverse bias condition, right? Okay, so thyristor T6 is in forward bias condition due to the phase B is negative and phase A is positive. So thyristor T1 is also in a forward bias. So I'm just clicking on the forward bias devices T1 and T6. Both are in a forward bias condition. Okay. So current start to flow from A, T1, then R, maybe L or only R, then T6 and back to the B. Okay. So that time you will get a pulse called as a VAB. This is the first pulse. That is the yellow color pulse. VAB. Okay. We are considering here the alpha equal to 0. Alpha is equal to 0. We are considering alpha equal to 0. This is input cycle and this is a V0. Okay. So this V0 for alpha equal to 0. We are considering alpha equal to 0. So this is the part when VAB is maybe thyristor T1 and T6 is on. Okay. So thyristor T1 and T6 is on. Then next one is T1 and T2, because the phase voltage you can see here VAB, right? Actually, it is not shown properly. So I'll just zoom out. Okay. So You can see here VCB. Actually, it is a VCB, first one, then VAB, then VAC, then VBC. Is it visible to you? Because now I'll just increase. Okay, see this one, waveform, right? So VCB, it means that the C and B is more positive. Okay, so in our figure, C and B, it means that if C is more positive, VCB, it means the C is positive and B is negative, right? So if C is positive, then first one we will start as per the waveforms which are available with us. So C is more positive as compared to the B. So if C is positive, then T5 is in conducting mode, right? And at the same time, B, that is a T6, is also in a forward bias condition, right? After 60 degree, what happens? The T5 is goes into the negative or maybe reverse bias condition, and at the same time, thyristor T1 goes into the forward bias condition. T6 is still on, right? See, in this particular connection, every SCR conduct for 120, right? The pair of SCRs conduct for 60, right? So T5 and T6 conduct for 60, then T1, T6 for 60, right? Then T1, T2 for 60, then T2, T3 for 60, and so on. What is the meaning of this? Every SCR conducts for 120, but the pair of SCRs conduct for 60 degree. Okay, so you can see here in a first output waveform, VCB, B is on, C is on. It means the thyristor T5 and T6 is on, right? Then during next pulse, VAB, it means that the thyristor T6 is still on, but thyristor B, that is okay, T6, VAB, that is T1 is also on, right? Thyristor T1 and T6. So T5, T6, then T6, T1, then T1, T2, then T2, T3, then T3, T4, then T4, T5, then T5, T6, again T6, T1, and so on, right? So you can see here what I am telling you. Every time the two SCRs are conducted at a time, right? And each SCR conduct for 120. Even I'll just read this explanation what you are given. The circuit consists of 6 thyristors, right? The thyristor T1, T3, T5 forms a positive group. T4, T6, T2 forms a negative group. Okay. Then thyristor T1, T3, T4, T6 produces the full wave rectified output of VAB across the load. Thyristor T3, T5, T6, T2 produces full wave rectified output voltage VBC across the load, and so on. Right? All these three outputs are given simultaneously to the same load, that is RL load. The effect is that all three individual outputs mentioned above gets superimposed on each other to get the final output. The waveform of the output for different firing angle as shown in figure, that is given, right? So as you increase the firing angle, alpha equal to 60, it will like this, then 90, then alpha equal to, that is again shown same, and then alpha equal to 150. Okay, so again if your alpha equal to 90, output equal to 0, if alpha is greater than 90, you will get an inversion operation. Okay, so with this particular inductive load, so what happens if the phase A is more positive, right, and phase B is more negative, then thyristor T1 and T6 is on. Then next time phase A is more positive, still positive, and phase C is negative, then phase A and phase C, it means thyristor T1 and T2 on. Next, then thyristor T2 remains on and T1 turns off, then T3 turns on, because that time the phase B is more positive. I'll just repeat it, what happens exactly. Just keep in mind, I'll just share you the notes of a unit number 3. Already I have shared the handwritten notes on our college repository system. You can directly download from that. and even I'll send you the maybe PDF of notes immediately after this lecture, so you can read what I want to say you. The same thing, see what happens exactly here. The thyristor T1 conducts for 120. It conducts once with the T6 and second time with T2. It means the pair of T1 is with T6 and T2. T1 conduct with the T6 for 60 degree, T1 conduct with T2 for 60 degree. So total conduction time for T1 is 120. Okay. Similarly, T2 conducts with a T1 for 60 and T2 conduct with a T3 for 60. So total conduction time for thyristor T2 is also equal to 120. What happens exactly? The pair of thyristors conduct for only 60 degree. Initially, we can start from T1, T2. So T1 and T2 conduct for 60. Then T2, T3. Outgoing SCR is a T1, incoming SCR is a T3, right? So SCR T1 turns off and SCR T1 turns off, but T3 turns on. So T3 and T2 conducts for again 60. Okay. Then T2 is outgoing SCR, T4 is incoming SCR. So T3 and T4 again conduct for 60, right? Then T4 and T5 conduct for 60. So T3 is outgoing SCR and T5 is incoming SCR. T5, T4 conduct for 60. Then T5 and T6 conduct for 60. So T4 is outgoing SCR and T6 is the incoming SCR, right? So uh, every pair of SCR, that is T1, T2, T4, T3, T3, T4, T4, T5, T5, T6, T6, T1, T1, T2, and so on. These are the pairs of SCR. So whatever the names given in a figure, you should write the names as per the given. Otherwise, you will be wrong for explanation. So whatever notations I have given and name may be a proper sequence. Sequence should be the same, whatever sequence is given in your figure. You cannot change the sequence, otherwise the incoming outgoing SCRs will be changed. So T1, T3, T5, T4, T6, T2. The name notation should be same. Okay. Okay. Right now, all are you give your attendance. Last 1 minute is remaining. So immediately chat box, private chat box, you can give your attendance fast. Last 30 seconds are remaining. Everyone, 30 seconds, only 30 seconds. Come on, fast. Everyone give your attendance in a private chat box.